What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the first episode, or how should I say, volume 1 of Agents of Geekdom, the debate forum. So this is going to be a fun night. It's going to be a quick night. And then it's going to be a debate. That's what we're here for. We're talking about AI art. It's been a thing that's been going around for a while. It's been around, but my thing is now it's becoming something more prevalent, more mainstream, more, how should I say, here. But the question is it going to stay? Is it going to change? Is it going to be used as a tool? How do people perceive art? How do people perceive it in the art industry? And how people actually truly feel about it. So this is what we're here for. This is what we're here to talk about. We're going to bring our first guest on tonight. We're going to bring on Fish. Fish is in the house tonight. Let's bring him on. And let's go
What's
ahead.
up, brother?
What's up, brother? We're going to bring on Sarah from Unlikely Heroes Studios. And then we're going to bring on our good friend Javon. So tonight is the night where we begin the debate on how we feel about AI art. So the first question I'm going to bring up tonight is, how do y'all feel about AI art and how it affects the art industry as a whole currently in today's environment? We also got Most Epic in the back handling all the procedures this evening. Anybody can start.
All right. Anybody else want to go first? Or I'm happy to go first. I'm always a chit chatter. All right. How do I feel about what it's doing to the artistic community as a whole? Right now, to me, it's special effects. It's a fun toy right now. It can't really compete with what we do as artists right now. It can't get as specific and as detailed, and tends to have lots of weird little problems in it. And then there's the whole ethical issues with how it's getting the artwork that it's learning from, sometimes copying and paste that stuff. But for me right now, it's a gimmick, but I can see it is very clearly on the way to becoming a tool that somebody can use to replace me if they want to. But, there's still people that only want to hire people that draw stuff by hand on paper, with a dip pen and India ink. So I don't think I'm going to lose a market for what I do, but it's definitely coming to where I'm going to be competing with a whole lot more of that. And I've seen some people that can get a lot better results with it than anybody else I've seen laying around. And I got my eye on those folks to see what they do with it.
All right. Who's that? Who wants to speak next?
All right, I'll go. Oh, nope, ladies first.
Doesn't matter. All right. For me, I'm conflicted because on what I see it as it can be a very powerful tool, and it could be an asset to us as artists. And me being somebody who does not currently possess the skill to draw my own comic, because I'm not that great at making all the characters look the same from page to page. But I can see that being something that is good for me in a way that it would it would help me get my stuff done where I wouldn't possess the skill to do it on my own without. But also, I think it would also make me lazy because I know me. But so I can see it being a tool, but also I see it potentially destroying the actual art industry as it is right now. And I also see the ethical concerns of art theft. And so I'm torn. I still haven't really formed a strong opinion. I don't know. I guess in theory, I think AI art is good, but in practice, not so much.
Javon?
So it's funny. I just answered this question. I was just on another podcast and I just answered this question. I think it's like twofold, right? So in practice, I think it's a cheat. It's cheating. It it doesn't require you to have skill, but it allows you to do work on a level that most of the people who are actually using it can't do. As it comes to the industry, I think it's I think it's foreboding right now, because there is a contingent of individuals who forget individuals, excuse me. There's a contingent of companies that would love to be able to squeeze out
Mm-hmm.
people.
That's what I'm going to get into next.
Absolutely.
It'll squeeze out people and squeeze out artists, and not have to pay artists, because they can get something probably faster
Or quicker.
and quicker and cheaper. So it's foreboding, but on a personal level, I'm not worried about it, because I don't need it.
Right.
I'm a grind, and I'm gonna do me, and I don't need it. You know, I don't need an artist to do my book. I do my book. I don't.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about it. I feel that people this is a way of them feeling like they can be part of something they've never been part of before, but they don't really have to think about it. They just got to type in a couple words and something is generated. You know what I mean? It's not created by them. It's created by something else. We got Ren in the building tonight. We got Ren in the house. My first question about the AI art is, what do you feel about it, and how do you feel it will affect the art industry in today's time right now? I'm not talking about 6 months right now, because right now, for me, I feel as it's a trend. It's simply a trend, and it will die out like everything else. But how do you feel about it?
Oh,
no sound.
Can't hear you.
No?
You're here now. You're here now.
Oh, you can hear me now? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty. I mean, it's cute, man. Like I can't say I like it. I can't say I hate it. I think the vanity of people is what's driving this thing. I mean,
Exactly.
if you notice, people are really, for the most part, putting their own selves in this, or their little ideas, and that's dope. Like I can't knock anybody for wanting to go a cheap route. It's the human nature. Real art lovers, real artists, it won't bother them. There's gonna be some people who are, well, there have been people who have tried to make a quick buck off of it. I saw some can I say douchebag?
You can say whatever you want here.
Some
It's after hours.
Yeah, some jackass was posting that, oh yeah, I can send me 25, 30 bucks and I'll send you 50 custom arts of yourself.
Oh,
I
bro,
saw
I
that.
saw that.
You saw
I
that?
saw that.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was done after that.
And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I believe that there's a couple other people who have tried it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
It's another hustle. Yeah.
it's not even a hustle. It's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what this whole AI thing is to me. It's a quick scam, man. Like I said, the real art lovers, the people who love our art, they're not gonna, long term anyway, they're not gonna go, oh my god, I need 50 more of these things that look exactly like everybody else's. I've seen so many wood nymphs. I'm tired of fucking wood nymphs. You know, it is what it is. I'm ready. I'm gonna talk my shit tonight.
It's all good. I'm
You know
going to go on to the next question. Sarah brought it up, and so did Fish and Javon. We've all brought it up at this point in time. That what we're not focusing on right now is that where's the fine line and where is the ethics in this art? Okay, where is the ethical line? I've posted many articles that I feel like they have been stealing images off Deviant Art, other pages that are verified, take images, scout them, reroute them, and paint them into their own image with AI. Where you can steal somebody's art, generate it, change it, and it becomes something different. That means they don't have to do anything with it at that point in time. Is there an ethical balance to this for AI art? And will there be any, in your opinion, will there be any consequences down the road? Or do you, like for me, do you feel that it's just eventually going to be just a trend and it will fade out and we will go back to eventually concentrating on what is real and positive and talent? What do you think?
Is that for me or is that for anybody?
It's for everybody.
Okay.
I'll say something on that because again, I literally just I just answered this. I think you can't put the genie back in the bottle. We're here, but I do think. Okay, sorry, my son is right there. I can't. You can't put the genie back in the bottle, but this reminds me of like at the late '90s, early 2000s, LimeWire, and all those downloading services where you could like rip off the artist. And basically, obviously we all recall at a certain point, the music industry was like, we've had enough. And then that was monetized. And I'm hoping that we somehow reach a point where the creative industry kind of goes, yeah, we're not doing this. Either you pay us or we're going to shut this down on a legal level. Because right now it's not illegal. It's just unethical. But my hope is that the creative industry kind of takes it to these guys and like, hey, you're going to use our art, you better start paying us.
Right.
And then if that happens, then we'll see how long AI lasts around because once you guys start divvying up the pot.
That's it exactly. And the problem is there have been people for a long time that have been doing unethical things in art, and like it's perfectly legal for me to take any of y'all's artwork, and if I change it enough, then I'm not crossing copyright, and I can take something that Ryan laid out and put Javon's characters over it or whatever, and now I've come up with something new even though I've just ripped both of y'all off. And like that's always kind of bugged me, but people have been doing it for a long time. And to me, it's no real different than, somebody photoshopping over somebody else's image or taking a likeness of somebody and then photoshopping different textures on it to come up with a new thing. Like it's the same kind of thing. To me, that all still kind of falls into fad. And until you can get the same kind of directed intentional creativity out of it that you can get directly to where you're wanting to go with it, I don't think it's going to be much more than a fad, but it's on its way. Like I'm already seeing people that are getting much better results out of it than I was able to get or most of the other people I've seen. When I went into it with this is the idea of what I want to produce and put in all the different prompts I could possibly think of, it just got further and further away from the result that I was wanting to get out of the end. But also, like a lot of other tools, you could give Photoshop or Clip Studio to anybody and they wouldn't be able to use it to the same kind of skill level that some of us do because we've put in the time to learn how to use the tools correctly to get the results that we want. We've put in the time to practice. So the guys that are out there crunching out artwork all day long with this thing are going to develop a skill set that other people don't have, and that might well be marketable to people down the road. I'm a little worried about it, but not greatly.
Sarah Wren?
Unless they learn how to draw fingers, I'm not worried.
Hey, it's coming, man. It's coming, dude.
Listen.
It's coming. It's coming.
Sure, it's coming. but it's gonna be far too late, in my opinion. Um, I haven't delved into it. I haven't even looked into it. I haven't slept or lost any sleep over it. Um, I think I, I think it's bullshit, man. I think the whole genre, the whole idea of it is kind of stupid. For the main reason of they're all they're doing is take, like you said, they're taking pieces from here and there, and they're matching it together
Mm-hmm.
to kind of guess at what you want. I saw the Thundercat one, and I nearly threw up. And and I'm not a barfer, man. Like I've thrown up twice in my whole life, and I really nearly hurled my whole
Some of
inside.
those scenes I made me want to vomit. Like it got into this weird place,
Their
and
heads were so big. Like, okay, there will be some people who are able to type in exactly what they want. There'll be some genius computer
coder dudes, yeah.
coder dudes that are able to dial in exactly how to do this thing. But going back to the copyright thing, there was a few years back, there was a guy who was taking people's artwork and putting splatter all over it, and he was laid out online and at the conventions, and he was banned from all the shows. It'll happen. It'll absolutely happen. There are going to be people on our side, because 9 times out of 10 at a convention, the fans are not keen to what is actual art, right? Uh, they see it, they like it, they're not worried about whether you made it or not. Not, we've all been to shows where there's the the guys who print the stuff offline, and they make prints of it, and nobody says anything. It's going to be that same thing. But once somebody notices their work inside of another piece of artwork, they're going to go to the promoter and they're going to say, this guy is stealing artwork. He's pulling that AI mess, and that's not his artwork. He needs to get off the floor, and he shouldn't be in Artist Alley, or he shouldn't be at the show. It'll come. It'll come.
Yeah, I like this question right here. Do you think there's a difference between using AI for concepts or versus using it for profit? Because what I feel
Absolutely.
like most people are using it directly to create their own conceptual designs and concepts about what they see in their brain. So do you feel like people can get that or conceptually get profit from that as well?
I don't see it as a problem for like brainstorming. I like sticking in ideas, like if I'm trying to come up with a look for a character, I don't mind typing in all the things that I'm looking for and see what it spits out, and then look at all those different things and take a little bit of inspiration from here and there, and
Do
then I
you
come up with
feel,
something new out
let's
of
say,
that.
do you feel like you lose your creativity at that point because you're having something else do it for you? That's
No,
the
I
real
mean,
thing that I'm
because
getting down to the line.
for me, it's no different than watching TV and being inspired to an idea from this, or looking at a vacuum cleaner and being inspired at an idea for a spaceship. Or, like, I get inspired from all kinds of images. For me, that's not different.
Mhm.
And for somebody who's not an artist, to me, it feels very much like those apps where you can create a hero and go through all the clip art and put on different bits of armor and clothing. And oh, I've got an original character made out of 50 different pieces of clip art. And I absolutely hate those characters for the same reason that I have a problem with the AI art, because a lot of it doesn't make sense and a lot of it doesn't really work. And they have all kinds of cool things that look neat, but you can't raise your arm with 3-foot spikes on your shoulders without going through your head, and like that doesn't work in reality. I can't draw this really cool character that you might have spent an hour on this app creating. I can't draw it in 3 dimensions doing the things you want me to do with it.
But how do you
And
feel like when writers have images and ideas in their mind and they can use AI art to produce a concept conceptually of what they feel that what things should look like? For me, that reads as utilizing as a tool because they can't produce it visually through their own hands. So it becomes a tool at that point and can be conceptually okay with that kind of concept. So
But-
this is
Put it
where
out there
the
now.
line comes in.
Can I say though?
When you say that
In
it's
a-
original art, that's different. If you say, "Hey, I used AI to come up with this image of my character," I really don't care.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't affect me. It's usually people that weren't going to hire me anyway. But
But in a situation like that, it's funny. Okay, all right, fine. Conceptualize. You know, they're putting in the computer and then it spits it out. But my thing is, I always say back to you, why can't you go to an artist and just tell them that, like, say, hey, this work with me. We will work together. Come up with the design, and boom, and it will forever boil down to money,
absolutely,
because it's money and time. Like, well, it's quicker for me to sit and type at a computer and then spit it out, and I don't have to pay for anything, and I can just go to the artist and be like, here, and then the artist 9 times out of 10 is probably going to be like, yeah, this ain't that great, I could probably do something better.
Mhm.
And then they give you something better, you still got to pay for it, so you wasted time. So I mean, it's to me, like I said, it's a cheat, and it'll always be a cheat. And I get that how people can use it as a tool, and like we like to, like right now, it's a lot of people talking about, well, I could use it for a reference. I'm like, you're probably not. You're probably just playing around with it, and you're probably having a lot of fun with it. But when you get down to
The
brass
reference
tacks,
is crappy if they've got 3 arms and 2 fingers.
exactly. So
Stop it.
I mean, that's
There's
what
always
we're,
13 fingers, man.
Sarah, how do you feel about it?
you know.
Well, which question am I answering? There were a
You
couple
all
of
of them.
questions.
Oh. You answer
Um,
wall.
Every question at once.
As I was listening to everybody else, I thought about, can we make an analogy of like why artists are so pissed off about, it's not about, right now, I don't think it's as much about getting our jobs stolen as it is about, we already had our work that we already put out there get stolen, and it's been used without our permission. And hell, even some of these things are even using things like medical records and stuff. Photos from your medical records could be in these databases, and that's, to me, horrifying. And what I'm thinking of is like, imagine if all 5 of us went to our kitchens and we baked a cake. We all baked a cake. It's all, everybody's cake was a different flavor, and then, you know, we took 2 hours. We made this cake, and then we presented our cakes to the, you know, buyer. But then let's imagine Mike came from out of the background there, and he took a piece of each one of our cakes and smushed them together and said, here, I made a cake, and it's all different flavors. The pieces are all different flavors, but I made it myself. I took these pieces and I put them together, and so I made this cake.
Mike's gonna eat that cake.
I feel like I'm gonna owe Mike a cake now because I just made him the bad guy of my little story.
Mike's the producer. He's on point tonight.
But like, that's so, like, did Mike make a cake? If he took a piece of each one of our cakes and mushed them together,
That's
did he
the
really make a
question.
cake?
Absolutely
Technically,
not.
That's the
and
question.
did he steal our cakes? Well, no, technically he did not. Technically, he only stole one slice of our cakes. But
Exactly.
did he make that cake himself? Well, technically, yeah, because he took one piece of our cakes and he put them all together into one cake. But did he really make the cake? No, he took our work
I saw a
and he made
meme.
it.
I saw a meme where somebody was like, your Spotify list made you a playlist, and then they were like, I'm now a musician. And I'm like,
Yeah. It's like, it's not so far off from that too. It's just, I mean, the answer is like, are you stealing? But the answer is yes, but it's also no. It's just because you're not directly tracing somebody's work or any of the things that we traditionally think of as theft, but also these bots were all trained on the art of thousands, if not millions, of artists who did not give their consent to have their art used in this way. Yeah. And unless we sell the rights to our art to our clients, we should have the right to say no, right? I mean, we should have the right to say no, we don't want our art used this way.
and that's the thing that gets me to the point where I'm like, it's also been the other thing. There's been flack about digital artists, you know, you're not a traditional artist if you're doing digital art, you know, and it's the same idea. Now we're at a point where conceptual concepts and other art is being taken and being distorted and turned into something new, which is now AI art. And like
I think that the argument always remains that anybody who accuses a digital artist of not being an artist has never actually tried to make digital art, because
thank you. Yeah,
that's not the same argument at all, people.
Yeah,
No.
but here we are in a world where I'm seeing on my news feeds left and right AI banners with AI banning in the middle. Don't support AI art. Don't do this. Don't do that. But where do you feel? Do you feel like this is like, my thing is right now, what are the pros to AI art? Because right now I feel like we're all on the same page at this motherfucking point. But where's the cons in it too? We know the cons, there's an ethical line being drawn. But what are the pros to AI art? What do you feel are the pros? I know Ren has nothing positive to say.
No, I'll play devil advocate.
I have positive things to say about it. I do.
I'll be devil. Well, to answer the original one, the earlier one, I want to say to any writer that approaches me, do not bring your AI digital creations to me and ask me to draw it. I won't do it. I'm gonna put that down there. You write down exactly what you want. I'll create the work. If it's part of my contract, then that's what we're gonna do. I'm not going off of your AI shit. Are there any pros? Yes, there are plenty of pros, man. As far as devil's advocate now.
Devil's advocate.
All of these avatars and people's profile pictures and things like that. Like I said earlier, it's cute, man. It's really nice for people who you know want to look like they're
looking through that.
Yeah, like they're on the moon or something. It's really dope. It's really cool. To me, it's childish, right? It's really something that's cool for a kid to have who's big into video games or something. Personally, I don't think adults should have it. If you're into artwork and you understand, especially after you understand what it was created by.
Mm-hmm.
But that's as far as I'm gonna go with the pros, man.
I think it's like honestly, the biggest pro I can think of is it's something fun to play with, right?
That's
like
the only thing.
It's
that's the only pro.
It's like these filters that you have in Snapchat and Photoshop. I mean, not Photoshop, and Instagram and Facebook. It's just something fun to play with. Like when people were doing all of the pictures of themselves, like, it's fun. Hey, ha ha ha. I don't have a problem when you're doing it for fun. It's when I start seeing like the guy who did a children's book, totally in AI, and is on Twitter. Twitter, like, I made a children's book, and I'm sitting here like, dude, like, like, I don't think read the room, man. Like, this ain't it. So, I do think like it's fun to play around with, in the sense like of anything else piece of technology when you're having fun. But the minute it crosses over into monetization is where I have the problem.
Yeah, this is my fear with like JD's comment. He works in film and games and TV, and he said they're using it for production and concept design. That is my biggest fear.
That is a problem.
And that's the problem. And the people that are using it don't even realize what they're losing by not having an artist.
Exactly. And that's my biggest problem with AI art. That's where we get to the point where it's taking jobs and taking things and credit from other artists who have built their lives around their craft to do these things.
Well, if you think about it, you look at it, we're already seeing these things. There's only so many images that the AI can pull from,
Mhm.
We're already seeing a lot of the things looking exactly like somebody else's. You know, all of the space ones, no matter what you type in there, they're starting to look alike.
They
all
are.
of the all
They
all
are.
of the backgrounds are starting to look alike. They're all starting to look exactly alike because the AI doesn't understand imagination.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it loses. No matter how much you control what's going into the program, AI will never have an imagination. It will never be able to say, this is
Preach,
what.
friend.
Lord Jesus!
Lord.
We'll never, it'll never compete with the human imagination, man. It won't.
Yeah, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna run a commercial. Mike, producer, lay it down. Roll that clip.
Let me know. All you gotta do is holler. You need a superhero. 'Cause I'ma hear you when you holler. When you need that superhero.
I wanna know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're back.
That was dope.
All right, so this is the second half of the show. I've already asked all the questions I want to ask. This is where we get crazy. This is where it goes nuts. This is the open
Freestyle.
forum portion.
Freestyle.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh,
I'm sorry to interrupt your
Still here,
program.
brother, for you folks.
I just wanted you to acknowledge the comment that we were hacked by Ultron, and he told all of y'all to get the fuck out of here. He has imagination, and he said the fuck all y'all. So I just want one point. I did not do that. We were hacked. And he has
Shut up. Ultron does not have an imagination.
oh, Mike, that was fantastic.
Ultron dies with a bucket of water.
The floor is open for everyone, including our guests tonight in the chat. Ask questions. It's a debate forum, so we're here to answer these questions, talk about it, disagree to agree in regards to AI art. For me, my personal opinion, I can see where it's used as an efficient tool, okay, but only a tool. Like Ren said, there is no artist. There is art. There's a reason why we have creativity. There's a reason why we are blessed with these kind of gifts, because we can see different things that other people cannot see.
Right.
So that is something AI art can never do. And that's something that can never be redone, hashed, or seen, or created.
Right.
So there's nothing that can be done in that way. I can see it as a tool, but it's only used, like Moana said, perfectly said, at a limited capacity. Because like Ren has said, there are images that are keeping to be reproduced, and you're seeing the same shit over and over and over again.
Right.
So the thing is that what artists can do is break new ground and explode with whatever they want to see at that point in time. So that's how I feel about it. It's only a tool, but it would never be anything beyond that. I don't feel like it's going to be something that's going to be around for a long time. Others might disagree, but I don't see that happening at all.
I think that you're saying it's not going to be around for long, and I think I sort of disagree with you on that.
Go ahead, do
but
that,
not
Sarah.
exactly. Because
do it so we can battle.
I think that it's not going to. I think / I hope that it's not going to be as big of a deal as we're worried that it might become, because the thing is because it's not human, and the AI is learning based on what we are providing to it. So it's never going to come up with anything new. It's just going to get really good at doing the stuff that's already been made, which is fine for some people. And the people that are using the apps to make to animate their faces and stuff, those are people that were never going to pay us to do any art for them anyway. So whatever.
Speaking
let them
of-
do it, I guess. As far as that, like ethical concerns aside, those people weren't going to pay to have a profile.
The
picture made
argument
them.
of why didn't you spend that $5 to pay an artist to do it? I don't know anybody that would have done your full color portrait for $5, much less give you 10 or 20 of them. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
it's and it's
I wouldn't do it.
we
Use
can't
the app.
afford
I'm
to
not
do
going to
that.
take that job.
Artists can't afford that.
My real question
Well,
that I'd like to ask
artists
everybody.
can't afford it because they did it. That's the problem. Someone
Well, yeah.
put in the work.
Someone
for
will
it,
do it,
and
but it's not going to
someone
be
paid,
that quality.
And evidently it was that quality. There's a lot of people who work that quality. They're going back to the digital art, man. I fought digital art for a long time. I'm a
Ren, you bastard.
Hey, listen. I love it.
I did
Don't get
too.
me wrong.
Hey, Ren, I'm right there with you, man. I'm a pen and ink dude. Man.
Fondly built.
Hey,
I color,
I'm
man.
a
I still
traditional
color.
artist, and I learned at CCAD how to color using Photoshop. So that, but it's still my work. You know what I mean? And it's still the work of the digital artist.
Mm-hmm.
So when you paint, when those guys paint digitally, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. But that's the part that they're using for the AI
Boom.
to make you look pretty
Mm-hmm.
for your profile picture. You know, 9 times out of 10, let's be real, these people are ugly as fuck. And this AI,
First off, I'm
no,
gonna say this, Ren. I'm coming in because I'm coming in for you right now. All right, I'm coming for
come
you
on.
right
Come
now.
on.
Tony
Come
pretty.
here.
Don't call him ugly.
I'm pretty, so don't dare say that I
So
ain't.
pretty.
You're pretty funny looking.
No, I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful.
I
Don't
Somebody
let me
out
spit
there,
on my computer, dude.
somebody out there thinks I'm beautiful.
Tony, what are you wearing, man? You look like
Yeah,
a
what the heck?
Unabomber right now,
Yeah.
man. Like
He
you-
all snuggled up.
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable.
He
You
up
look,
north. It's cold up there.
This is
Yo,
this is-
you
flag
look
on
like
the
you
flag,
killed a
flag on the flag. No one can talk about Tony's outfit and what he has on. That is ultra comfort, Tony, and you will
Shut
not
your
disrespect
ass
him.
up, Mike.
Is it a shirt or is it a blanket?
Tony
it's
killed
my Game
a
of
stuffed wolf.
Thrones cloak, dog.
Tony
Okay.
killed a
My
stuffed
bad, my
wolf
bad.
and threw it around
I'm
his neck.
comfortable in here. I was watching a little show. I got called a child. I ran, looked right at me in the camera. I felt it. I felt it through the lens of the camera.
Hey,
It
am
poured
I
it into
pointing
my
at you right
soul.
now? Child.
Yes,
Man,
I felt that.
everybody getting on your case, and like nobody asked me why.
Ain't
I'm
gonna
wearing a
hurt my
hat and a
feelings. I still
hoodie.
watch
I felt
cartoons and play
I
with
felt
toys.
No, listen though. Hey, the same reason why we get variant covers is the same reason why this AI shit is never gonna work, right? We like different creative shit from different creatives. Am I right? Like I wouldn't get a cover from Fish, Ryan, and Ren if I didn't like the different styles that they have, right? The different creative minds that they have. Matter of fact, Ren drew some shit. I didn't even tell Ren to draw that shit. I gave him a completely different idea. He just went off the fucking rails and did his own thing. And I'm like, bro, that's not what I asked for. But I'm not gonna waste this shit because it looks dope. No computer generated bullshit's ever gonna do that. Now, did I fall into the trend of getting my face looking pretty and all mob bossy? Yeah, I did it. Then I found out, oh, you're stealing people's art. So I deleted the app. Other than that, it's all bullshit. There you go. There's a writer's perspective. That's all I gotta say. Ren, F you. No, not for real, because I like you. Now I'm gonna go back, sit in my chair, watch this show. I'm feeling comfortable as fuck. That's how I'm gonna go. Okay, peace out. Nobody's gonna say shit back to me because I'm leaving.
All right, so since he's listening, it's super cute, man. I'll get back to on point. It's super cute, man, and he made me lose my entire train of thought. Fuck that guy. But it's
The man in front of the wall full of toys wants to call Tony a child. Now let's get to it.
Hey, listen. I'm a big ass kid, and it takes one to know one. You know, I can take it as much as I can give it. But that's the thing. Like AI is garbage, man. And let's be real about it. As like you said, Ryan, as long as they're using it for their profile pictures, that's fine. However, just like 5 Star said, if you once you figure out that it's art theft, in essence,
Yep.
in whatever capacity it is,
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you to make that choice. I'm never going to tell anybody not to. You know, I'm personally not going to be like, you should not do that. But if you ask me, I'm going to tell you, you know, it's garbage. It's trash. You know, I haven't made any posts about it. I haven't, you know, gone online and told anybody on their post that, oh, this is what it is and you shouldn't do it. It's not my place, you know. However, Mike sent me a message, or we were talking last week, and he was like, "Yo, we're doing this thing." I'm like, I want in. You know, this is my chance to speak my mind.
Yep.
But again, I'll say, like, I've been calling it a cheat. It's still a cheat to me. But as I said, you know, previously, you know, when it comes to us as creators, you know, people pay for the name. Like they pay from, you know, Javon Stokes, you know, Ryan, Ren, Mr. Fish, like they're paying for our names.
It's
You
an
know,
experience. They pay for the experience.
experience too, like that. It's all part of it. So I don't foresee it. Like if you're a comic book creator and you got your own stuff, I don't see it eating into your bag, because if somebody wants Javon Stokes, they gonna get Javon Stokes. They gonna come after me. Like, even if they use the AI, if you look at all these AI pieces, they all kind of soulless. You know, like they all look like they ain't got. So Javon, you never used to use cheat codes. You know, listen, man.
I
If you
can't.
listen,
I
I'm
do.
gonna be real with you. I'm gonna
That's
keep
my
it.
one hand.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you used Game Genie, and I'm dating myself right now, but if you used Game Genie back in the
Look at
day,
that,
Look
Javon.
at Sarah's eyes. She was like, "Oh, what?"
if
Sarah's
you
like, what is that?
if you used Game Genie back in the day, you got clowned for it, because that meant you couldn't play the game. So
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like you wasn't good enough. So I'm personally not worried about AI, because you know AI can make a great heat facsimile, but it ain't heat. It ain't me. So you know, keep going. You know, the cheap people are gonna buy the cheap stuff, and you know what? Let them cheap people buy the cheap stuff. The
And
people
Javon,
who really want to support you, they're gonna support you. You darn right I had the power glove, sir.
that nigga had the
Don't
power.
hate on
Javon
me,
was
Cairo.
bougie.
All right,
I
Captain
didn't know
Ian.
nobody had a power glove.
I had the power glove. I was like,
Hey, he walked in like, you know what's going down.
I can play this in an even harder way.
Don't let me talk about
But,
Captain N.
right. Javon's right. AI can't not produce what Fish can do, what Javon can do, what Ring can do, and what I can do.
Well,
Because
it can, but
it
you can
can.
see the difference.
But they're going to mesh it. It's
It
not
can,
going to be
because it's going to
something.
take it from us.
Yeah, Fish is
Yeah.
done. You know, it'll be a medley of shit. Like
It's
they're
going to have
doing.
all our thumbs
I still have a question I want to ask the group.
at once.
Go ahead, Fish.
Because and I ask it because of this one reason. One of the fellas that I was hoping we could get on tonight, he did a book several years back. I bought it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm yelling out the sound effects. I think I yelled out, "Oh shit," at one point. Like, I loved it. I turned it around and was showing my kid the explosions. I later come to find out that he uses a lot of like poser figures and stuff, and then like draws over them. Before I read that book, like, I wouldn't have bought the book if I had known that beforehand, because I'd be like, that's a cheat. If he can't really draw it himself, then I don't want to buy it. But that doesn't change the fact that I thoroughly enjoyed the book, and I still thoroughly enjoy the book. And it kind of opened my eyes a little bit on that aspect. I mean, like, I've always felt real strongly about tools. Like, it becomes a cheat when you can't do it yourself. Like, I could go over to this wall and paint a mural, no problem. You know, if I'm paid to do that mural, I'm going to design it first, get your approval. I'm going to use a projector to shoot it on the wall, and I'm going to mark things out so that I don't have to spend a lot of time adjusting and wasting time, give you something that you didn't approve. I'm going to use that tool to speed up my process and make it go faster. I can do it, but I don't have to have it. If you can't draw a stick man and you use that same projector to do a mural and you call yourself a muralist, I have a problem with that. If you use it as a tool to speed up your process, I don't. Like, if you use Photoshop to make art that you could never make on your own, calling yourself an artist, not so much. If I use it just to speed up my process and to help out, like half of the reason I got into digital art finally was because it helped me with my disability and helped smooth out my hand trimmer, and I don't have to worry about dumping over bottles of ink and ruin the carpet anymore. I didn't want to do digital, but once I learned it, I realized it was a powerful tool that could help me work better and faster and work around personally my neurological disability. My question is, what would have to happen in AI art for y'all to either be okay with it or want to use it for yourself? Because I can say, like, if I could pay for a subscription service and I could feed all of my pages of Green Zone into it and it could learn my art style and I could lay out a page, like rough out the figures, put a V on it for Virgil, and it finished it, I would be real damn tempted to do it if it could come out to that kind of quality and speed me up and make my books cheaper, and I could.
This is where it gets dark real quick, Fish.
It does, but
Your
I'm
analogy-
curious, like, what would have to happen for
Your-
y'all to want to use it?
Your analogy is absolute trash, Fish, and I'm going to tell you straight up. If you sketch out the piece on the paper and then blow it up on the wall, it's still your artwork. Point blank, period. If you type in anything into a computer and let it spit it out, it's not your work anymore. That book is not yours. You didn't do the work. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to support you anymore. You know what I mean? Based off of that analogy alone. You know what I mean? If you are a talented artist, Mr. Fish, and there's really no reason for you to have tricked yourself into believing that the backdoor easy way, which is what this is a better way for you. Now, is it a time?
I didn't say it's a better way. I said it would be a lot faster and it would be cheaper if I could bring my books down to $1.50 or $2 to sell.
I know. I let Fish over here talking about more time. I'm like, dang man, like
You're already the fastest person I know.
I'm also the dude that works 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for weeks on end until I finally crash for 3 days.
So let me can I say this? And I understand, like, it is a temptation to be like, listen, if a computer could draw exactly like I could draw, would I be like tempted to use it because it is my style? But I think there is something to the craftsmanship behind what we do and the time and the personal energy that goes into it. Because like I said, the AI stuff is soulless. Like it can try, but you can tell that it's just like it doesn't have the energy that, like, like it could try to channel J. Scott Campbell and do a Danger Girl, but it ain't gonna have the energy that J. Scott Campbell brings to his artwork. You know what I mean? Like it's just it. I'm not doing comics because it's easy. I'm not doing comics because I could do it quickly. Like, I do it because I love it. Like, are there cheats within drawing that I used because I'm like running behind schedule? Sure. Like, absolutely. We all do it. Like it is what it is because they're scheduling. But the entirety of the process, I do it because I love it.
That was going to be my
It's a cop out. Everything is regarded as lazy. If you're going to use AI to do your work, it's not yours. Bottom line, it's lazy. And that's my thing with it. And like, you shouldn't want that temptation or that attempt to even do that. Because to me, it loses appeal. It loses your heart of what you've already put into a book or whatever you've done. So it's lazy. And that's the thing. Like Javon said, there's nothing behind it. Sarah, what about Fish's question? How do you feel about it?
I actually have a question to ask Fish. If your reasoning for being tempted by that idea, is it because you feel like you need to get more done faster, or is it because you just don't want to do the work? Because I feel like I know the answer to the question, and I have thoughts on that. Is it because you want to
The
get more done
reason that
faster?
I would be tempted, and I didn't say I would do it, I said I would be tempted. If I could feed it my artwork, it's not stealing from anybody else. It's learning from me and the work that I've already put in and learn to replicate my characters. And then I'm doing the layouts. I'm telling it where I want the shot, what I want going on, all that stuff. I'm the director in this scene, and and the AI is everybody else on a movie set making it happen. Because the director doesn't do shit but tell people where to put it and schedule stuff. I mean, like he's not the one operating the camera. He's not the one doing the acting. He's not the one building the sets. The reason that I would be tempted with it is that it would let me tell more stories faster. It would let me get more of my story out there quickly and easily, and it would let me bring my price down because I'm not having to pay myself for 16 hours a day to do this. The AI is doing it for a $50 a month subscription or whatever the hell it was, then I could bring that cost down so that people could read my books at a lot cheaper rate. It wouldn't cost $5 or $6 grand to back a Kickstarter to get the book made. I could get it done for $1,000 to cover printing and be done with it. Like, I would love to get my stories out because as much as I like being an artist, I'm a storyteller first, and I care a lot more about getting my stories out than I do. I mean, I love my art, but I'm a storyteller. That's why I'm doing comics, because I love telling stories.
Well,
And
that's what
if
we
it
differ.
helped me get that done faster after learning off of me, that would be very tempting. Just like if I had a robot working in the kitchen and I could teach it how I make the icing for my kids' birthday cakes, and it could learn from me and copy that, and it could make the icing while I'm wrapping presents, that would be pretty damn tempting.
I
I
I mean,
asked
it
this
makes
because I
sense to
think
me. I mean, it's pragmatic.
there's a lot of the problems that I have with AI art can be traced back to capitalism and the fact that they stole the artwork because they didn't want to pay for it, because that would be been so astronomically expensive for these programmers who made the AI bots. And it's a tempting thought for me as well, because I can't draw lightning fast like you can, and I'm working hard to practice and get better at it. And so like I feel tempted by using AI art to give me my concepts so that I can use that to go off as a prompt, I guess, or like looking at other people's art books and seeing a pose and an angle that you like, and then mimicking that, but I'm drawing it out myself. Like that's what I would use it for, and I'd be very tempted to do that simply because I cannot do it faster. I could do it much faster if I did do that, and I I can't do it. Nobody's ever going to be as fast as a machine drawing this stuff, and I feel the pressure of, well, how am I going to pay my bills next month if I don't get this stuff done? So I feel like for a lot of the artists, aside from having just straight up the wound of having your work stolen like this, is also that I'm tempted because this will help me put food on the table. And like I feel like capitalism here, like it all could be traced back to capitalism is bad. I feel like nobody would have the problems with AI art that they had if we hadn't run into the ethics and the
Oh, I
theft
could
of
sit
it.
down
Like,
and think of
it's
30
just
different ways to profit off of it right now and
Oh,
make
of
passive
course.
income I don't have to work for.
But we don't got that time.
But
So
it's
we got
stealing from other
5
people,
minutes
and that's my
left.
problem.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have everybody give your socials, all that stuff, and give your final thoughts in less than 20 seconds on the clock about AI art. And then we're going to roll it out. Go ahead, Sarah.
You can just find me wherever you find UH Studios stuff, which Unlikely Heroes Studios on YouTube, and we are UH Studios Official on Instagram, and we're UH Studios on Facebook. I think that's all of them right now. So I don't post on my own stuff because I'm terrible about that. So you'll have to look at UH Studios stuff if you want to see my stuff.
Rent.
You spell my name right. RENMCKINZIE, and you can find me anywhere. AI artist trash.
Javon.
I ain't Javon.
Visuallystoked.com is where you can find me, and it'll take you to all my social medias. You find me at Javon O. Stokes on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Last thoughts on AI. Don't be afraid of it. Keep working. The better you get, the more it doesn't matter what AI can do.
Fish.
Hey, Mr. Fish Comics, just about everywhere on all the social medias. And to me, AI is a fad. You know, it might be a powerful tool one day, but I still think we're a good ways away off of that. And fskgo.com, Green Zone's almost done.
I want to thank everybody who joined me tonight on my first show for Agents of Geekdom Debate Forum. This is the first time I did this format. I'm sure it would change regarding what I'm going to do in the future. I want to thank Sarah, Fish, Javon, and Ren joining tonight, and my producer in the background, Most Epic Art, and having a nice little cameo appearance from Mr. 5-Star. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. You guys can find me at Ryan Robinson on Facebook, R248 on Instagram, and also www.moanatheauthor.com for the Adventures of Nicole and Nohea. New book coming out very, very soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. My final thoughts on AI. I don't know what it is. I don't care about it. It can die. Because all things do die in the end. Just saying. That's it. I do hear and understand people's opinions and respect those opinions in regards if they had the opportunity having more time in the day like we all wish we do. I can see where that's a benefit. But like I said, it can die. Like all things.
AI art is never going to replace what you do, Ryan.
Yep. All creatives, all artists out there, keep going, keep powering through, and create beautiful art because that's what we're here for. Place.